So I have a few players, coaches, things that are guys that things are at the most stake in the playoff push. So let's go through this here. Let's start with Joe Brady, who was the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. They seem to be struggling down the stretch here. Yes, they came back and beat the Bengals, but the Bengals have no defense. But if he wants a head coaching job, down the stretch is important for Joe Brady.
Yeah, but the problem is too much success takes you out of the pool because you are not stuck. You're in a deep, meaningful playoff run, and people have slots they have to fill.
Well, I think you get like a week, like if you're in a bye week, you get that bye week to actually set up some interviews to show that you're
The
interested.
Bills aren't going to have a bye week.
Okay, David wins.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what David's saying, and there does need to be some reputational repair. It would help him, yes.
And along with the fact that you have a guy who could possibly be an MVP in Josh Allen, that your offense shouldn't be, Josh, we need you to run and score 5 touchdowns every game.
Next on the list would be Bradley Chubb for the Miami Dolphins. He is healthy and could be healthy for the first time all year since 2017 here.
Yeah.
Coming off an ACL injury, he does have 6.5 sacks. He is owed $20 million next year.
I don't see a way they pick that up. No. I just don't.
So down the stretch, they say it's important for maybe another team. Maybe they decide to take over.
First of all, the fact that the Dolphins were in the graphic this past weekend, like,
pretty crazy, isn't it?
Wait, what?
And they're doing it. They have no GM. You don't even know if the coach has a shot to be back. It's wild. Really is.
Next on the list will be, and Lions fans remember this name, Matt Eberflus. He is the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, and yes, the defense was struggling. They made some trades. We know what they did, had some additions, and now the defense looks much better. So down the stretch could be important for Matt Eberflus.
I'm going to disagree here. I don't think anything gets him a head coaching job next year. He would need a full season next year in a top 10 unit. And I will never unsee his brain freezing at Ford Field and not understanding how much time was on the clock, allowing the Lions to win that game.
To your point, they do mention on here that Jerry Jones has been quick on getting rid of defensive coordinators, and maybe this keeps his job for another year.
Oh, okay.
Now, it
all
can
right.
keep his job, but what he just said, David, he's going to need another year at turn it around now, and then you're good next year.
Nick Saban rehab camp.
And then maybe people will forget how you flamed out at Ford Field. I mean, he hit a straight vapor lock, like timeout. I think Dan Campbell was like doing the motioning on the side of call timeout.
Next player here on the list would be Shador Sanders, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. He's been named the starter for the rest of the year. They say he's improved every week since he's been starting, and it's important for him to maybe secure a job for next year.
Here's the problem I have. Irrespective of what he does or does not do, I don't know if there is coaching support, organizational support. I mean, Stefanski, it's almost like spite. And he took him out of the game on the 2-point conversion. I mean, David, yes, I can go along with this. The problem is the one performance that everybody wants to talk about is against the worst team. Do you realize the Tennessee Titans are on pace to be the worst team, possibly point differential-wise, in the last 30 years of football? So I can't take that performance seriously. I'm sorry.
Well, that and the fact is he's just a placeholder because Deshaun Watson's still on the payroll there. So they held on to him for a reason. They're going to pay him a ton of money, and he's going to be back next season. I don't think Shador is going to beat him out. I think it's a good story. And maybe, kind of like how we talked about Eberflus, Shador is just solidifying his place in the league as a solid backup QB.
Next player on the list here, and we've talked about him all year. They had a mysterious ankle injury and sat him out. Then he was on the concussion protocol. Then they sat him out. He looked okay, but again, he didn't play anybody this past weekend. But that's J.J. McCarthy. Important there because they say his pass catchers will not want to go into another year like this.
Yeah, this is number one with a bullet on this entire list to me. Mm-hmm. This is an organization that with a rookie scale contract at quarterback loaded the wagon. That's a really good roster. If J.J. were even average this year, they're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He's been woeful. Then hurt, soft benched, woeful, And last week, strikingly competent. This is a massive last 4 weeks.
I look at this last 4 weeks as if you're the Vikings, you have to ask yourself, okay, the Bears, better. Packers, better. Lions, better. Do we make the move to get back in there? Because just last year we won 14 games, and now we're at the bottom of the division. And what's missing? Oh, we swapped out quarterbacks. Maybe you got to go out and bring in somebody else. I don't think that whatever he does will be enough.
Quickly, last one, 30 seconds or less.
Quentin Johnson, wide receiver drafted for the Chargers, has been a disappointment. He has to look better the last few weeks of the year.
He was awesome the first month of the year, and then he turned back into Quentin Johnson. I'm just going to say it's over.
He's a wide receiver, dime a dozen. He'll be out of the league.
You don't like wide receivers.
I like him coming out of TCU, but he's got to go someplace else and maybe find another team and catch fire.
Yeah, and the other thing is their passing offense has major issues. Lad McConkey has struggled at times. They've gotten next to nothing. And they can't protect Herbert. Now Herbert's wearing a space glove on the surgical hand. Problems, man. How about that? How about two teams with a bunch of studs and the game goes to overtime and it's as boring a game as you've ever seen? That was Monday Night Football.
You would think it would be offense.
Amen.
It was horrible. That is in football today.